I'm a 9/11 blogger here in Norway. Why is it important for us in Norway to spread the truth and ask questions and demand answer about 9/11 here in Norway? Why is that important?
Lots of reasons. One has to do with the future, trying to prevent this kind of thing from happening again. Because in the past, they've gotten away with these things. And people under previous operations have said, if they got away with this one, so they're likely to do it again. Take the Kennedy assassination. 80% of the American people now no longer believe the Warren report that it was Lee Harvey Oswald. The evidence is overwhelming that is an inside job. And now we know there's a huge book that shows Lee Harvey Oswald was two people. You've got Lee Oswald, you've got Harvey Oswald. One of them grew up in the South, one of them grew up in New York and spoke fluent Russian. And that's how Harvey Oswald could go to Russia and then come home speaking fluent Russian. You know, once you know the facts, it's just obvious. But nobody knows these facts officially. Lots of people know them privately, but it's not part of the public discussion. Unless these things become part of the public discussion, which nowadays means unless they're talked about on TV, they don't become. And as I've shown, I mean, bloggers can force the mainstream media to deal with some issue if you get enough people demanding, look, you're our public representatives. It's your duty to at least expose both sides of this story. You don't have to endorse the alternative theory, but give us the alternative evidence that these people are making their claims on. Don't hide this, you know, so you can do that. So I'd say many people did say after JFK, well, if they can get away with that, they're going to know they can get away with anything, and they'll do it again, and 9/11 was doing it again. And now we're very fearful they're going to do it again as a false flag to operation to attack Iran. Many people are predicting it's going to occur very quickly. I don't know, and many predictions have proved to be false in the past. But the more people who know this concept of false flag operation and know that we've done it many times in the past. I understand Sweden even did it once, long time ago. And this is common stuff. This is the way imperial powers do things. So, but you never hear this on the mainstream news. You never hear the word false flag operation, just to get that word out in the public and show how with Operation Gladio, or whatever it's called in the other countries, they went around planting evidence. So these were right-wing operatives doing these things, but they would plant evidence to show that it was communists or anarchists or other left-wingers to get people to vote against them and to vote for security, the right wing to provide security. So if you show there's this long habit of planting evidence, then you can very easily show that with 9/11, the evidence is planted. These passports that survived the burning inferno and ended up on the floor down there to prove that there were hijackers. I mean, it's just so comical. It's just so elementary. And once you know the concept, you can see that's what it is. So, and my other reason is, and this was the pitch I made when I came to Europe last year, and I spoke in Amsterdam, in London, and Copenhagen. And, excuse us, that's our pronunciation. That lecture was put on Google. So if you go on, just type in David Ray Griffin, Copenhagen. You'll find my lecture. And also there's an interview I gave there, which I think was the best interview I've ever given. And I dealt with this issue, that my plea was for Europe to develop a blue ribbon panel of, take one of the most respected people in Norway, one of the most respected people in Denmark and Sweden and Finland and Germany and so on, one from each Western European country. And listen to the evidence presented by the 9/11 Truth Commission and then offer to pay the way. And if you pay the way to Europe, offer to pay the way to an American politician, and they turn you down, there's some good reason. But at least you have a story there. You say, we were going to wine and dine these people, put them up in luxury hotels, and they still wouldn't come and defend the official story. Doesn't that make us suspicious? And so they didn't show up. What we've got is the evidence from the 9/11 Truth movement, which did show up. We conclude there is sufficient reason to indict the administration, to believe that it was an inside job. And if you could get that broadcast to the world. See, it doesn't matter if it comes from Venezuela. We'll just dismiss it. They're our enemies. If it comes from Malaysia, China, it doesn't help. But if it comes from Western Europe, our chief ally in the world, the American press might have to pay attention. So I think that's our best hope to get the truth exposed, is for Europeans to do it. So I would hope that you and would join with other bloggers in other countries and get a movement to get this blue ribbon panel going. It doesn't have to be a big operation. It doesn't have to take a lot of money.